dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us? No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words. On the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Change. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We are
running free. It's the coach, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in down. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon. Playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The left foot of Italian-born kicker Giorgio Tavecchio ready to get us started. And we are underway from the Superdome. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
Here we go. 190. Mike 50. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Third and long. It's Wilson. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 4 down. Alert.
On the counter, Devontae Freeman. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 14 carries, 117 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Now Wilson on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. George Kittle with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing. And
his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now it's the Packers' turn to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
A first down throw for Brissett. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. On second down, it's Johnson. Johnson on its poke free. Football's out. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Missed it.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 6, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
Hey, let's go. Interception all day, baby. Let's get this.
He had another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Well, look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, Do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge him? This is going to be fun.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. On 3rd down, Brissett. Complete. It's Johnson. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 6-0 our score after 1.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson completes it to the tight end Kittle. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Johnson. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Samson Abukum coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Well, why do you go out and spend a 1st-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his 1st interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Here comes the Saints punter now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Got a man open, it's Ross. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will make our score 9-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick, please? Thank you. All right, let's go. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
54, 54, check.
They'll run it with Johnson. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him.
The deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Williams. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
We're set on first down. Complete. It's Henry. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, it's Bissett. The quick slant caught, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquise Lee. His 4th touchdown on the year as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
After allowing that last score, the defense knows they've got to tighten things up. Otherwise, they'll let them right back into the game.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will shave one more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So here are the Saints to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Johnson, and he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on fourth down. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. They want him to handle the football and try and close this game out, or they're going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction.
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run. Devontae Freeman. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Saints on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Brissett. And caught by Henry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. He can run for it, and he will. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
First down, Brissett. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They run the counter. It's Freeman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, it would likely put an end to this thing. Here's Freeman. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here comes the Saints punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down. Now Brissett. He gets this one to Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Corey Legion able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Saints, the win will help them.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering.